Sophie, I don't know if you've seen those videos. I see them a lot recently on TikTok and on Instagram Reels, where it's like turning this metal song into a wedding song, and they use a harp, they use a guitar, they use a piano, and they make it this beautiful opening song. And while I think that is amazing, and it takes such an eloquent talent to take a really heavy song and make it so angelic, I have a bone to pick with these people. What's wrong with the original version? I don't want to have a wedding if you're going to be like, I actually don't want you to play your Green Bay music at my wedding.
No, Yasmine.
I actually don't want to come to your wedding if you're just going to play metal. That's crazy. I'm the one getting married.
No, I'm sorry. If you're,
I'm going to play what I want.
No, if you're telling me, like, I love metal, but there is no way I am walking down the aisle to Slipknot Duality. Do you know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah.
No, you can't.
Hell yeah. And then there's I get the walking down the aisle bit, but then there's people who are like, yeah, we hire an orchestral band for the day and they play all the songs, but as orchestral bands for the first dance. And I'm like, no, I will be throwing ass to knock loose, raw, uncut, in the pit at my wedding. I don't want to have a harp do it. Blast that shit on the speakers.
Do you have grandparents?
They're all dead.
There we go. This is like, you cannot invite the older
I don't
people.
care. I literally don't care. Like, my dad is old enough. My dad is a granddad, and if he ever comes to my wedding, touch wood, he's gonna have to deal with me going off, motherfucker. If you don't love me at my grr metal, you don't deserve me at my cute little wedding dress, cute little bouquet.
Hello and welcome to On Wednesdays We Wear Black with me, Sophie K, and Yasmine Suman.
Hello, people of the internet. I'm here. I'm in your walls.
It's one of your favourite episodes. It's news and updates and what's been going on in the scene.
Yay! I love this episode because it just means that I get to go on Twitter, find out what people are talking about, and then tell you about it. Woo!
What has been happening? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with news, then we go into releases, and then we will go into social media.
Yippee.
Releases that we've been listening to. Okay, so starting off with news, starting off strong. There has been so much going on lately, and it must be because festival season is back up and running.
The drama is drama-ing. The girls are all together and they're fighting, literally.
My first one is something that I've seen everywhere, and I thought this was a really interesting discussion.
Okay.
So the band Prevail, who we know, we've had them on the podcast, we love Prevail. Brian, who is the clean vocalist in Prevail, had to go through surgery. His recovery is taking longer than expected, and so it means that the band are going to do the tour without the clean vocalist. There has been such mixed reviews online. Obviously, people are like, yes, we love Brian, we want him to be well, but then some people are unhappy about the fact that he's not going to be there. And it really got me thinking, what happens when a member of the band can't be there for a tour?
I know the answer, but I guess people who don't work in the music industry don't know. They get a touring member. It happens. Like, there's many
but this is a clean vocalist. You can't just get...
Oh, yeah. It's
you can't just get a vocalist.
I guess. I mean, if you've got... The good thing is with having a clean and a harsh vocalist is usually it's easier to fill in on the cleans. If it's like the screamer of the group, you're a bit fucked. I've seen bands do it where, like, they play shows and... like, they bring on their friends to do the guest vocals, but you can't fill in for Brian though, because his voice is so good. That's the problem. It's hard because I feel bad for bands when this happens, because they could cancel the tour, right? And people are like, why don't you just cancel and give us refunds or rebook? And it's like, it's cost so much money already. They've booked flights, they've booked travel accommodations, as in, like, they've booked all their buses, they've probably bought all their merch ahead of time, they've, like, made all these accommodations ahead of time that are probably non-refundable. I don't think they can risk losing out on that money.
That's the problem. And, like, but I know it affects us as, you know, the audience. Here's the thing. What if they had... Would you rather see somebody sit in for your favourite vocalist, or would you rather have, like, a backing track playing their part?
So, how has this just come to me? Obviously, Lucas Woodland from Holding Absence is currently filling in for Funeral for a Friend. Was at Slam Dunk. I saw it was amazing. I'd be okay with that if I Prevail did that, if they like brought someone else with them who was in another band who was a good clean vocalist who had like a similar vocal style to Brian, and obviously like it wouldn't be the same, but like I guess that's kind of fun and interesting though, because I really like when other artists cover other artists' songs, right? So I think it would be cool, but then I also feel like regardless the crowd is going to be singing so loud that it kind of won't matter.
Am I a terrible person? Because sometimes I'm like, oh, it's not the same. it's different. I can't handle it. And I would never put that.
If I'm at a gig and I'm singing along, I don't really notice. Like, I'll be like, yeah, but I'm going for the atmosphere. I'm going to the vibes. I'm going to hear the songs live. And it's not just the singing. I'm going to hear the drums, the guitar, the bass, the stage energy. And if they can still do that without Brian, don't get me wrong, Brian, I love you, okay? Get back on that stage. Go. But in the meantime, I feel like mitigating circumstances, given the current situation, I can still make a fun time out of it, you know, there's certain times where it's like I don't think the band can pull it off without this guy, but in this situation I think they can. I Prevail have a lot of persistence. They're a very dedicated band.
Yeah, they are hardworking. Do you know what, shout out to that band, because I bet it was still a killer show. And shout out to the fans who didn't go, oh, this is so frustrating, or whatever. They were like supportive in what they said. So it's rare that you get to see that.
Prevail have supportive fans, because I remember when Lucas got announced as Funeral for a Friend, like doing the Slam Dunk shows, people were so mean in the comments. What the hell, man? Like, he didn't personally tell the guy to bow out. Like, the fuck? He's just, if that was me and Hayley Williams is like, hey girly pop, I can't do this show, do you mind doing it for me? I'd say yes in a heartbeat. You would be stupid not to. Stupid. This really pissed me off. I was at Slam Dunk this weekend, and I was obviously watching Lucas's performance because that is my friend, and I was like, yay, woo, support. I walked off to go get ice cream, and he was on stage and he was saying, oh, I'm obviously not the vocalist, but I really appreciate you guys letting me come on stage and sing. And some girl went, yeah, we know, we can tell you're not the vocalist. And I wanted to fucking neck her, but I couldn't, because people know who I am, and I hate that because it means I can't start any fights. But it really pissed me off, because I was like, well, why are you stood in the crowd?
Why are you here then? Yeah,
you're telling me if Funeral for a Friend didn't ask you to get on stage, you wouldn't do it? Like, if Funeral for a Friend came up to you personally and were like, hey girlie, do you mind singing this song for us? You wouldn't be like, oh my god, yes, of course. Don't act like you wouldn't do that in a heartbeat.
It's weird the way people get like that.
And it's not like it's a Funeral for a Friend tour. It's a festival performance. Like, you can see other bands.
Yeah, I don't know the drama behind Funeral for a Friend, but the singer left. Yeah. So it's like, it's not as if they've kicked him out and replaced him. The singer has left. But here's one. The ultimate for me is like William Duvall for Alice in Chains. He does a fantastic job. Everyone's like, oh, it's not Lane. Lane died. Yeah. Like, I know that's a really harsh thing to say, but he's not around anymore. And it's not just one person. I know when some people listen, they only hear vocals, but it's not just one person in a band. And so it's like, should a band carry on if the singer dies?
Yeah, there's so many like ifs or buts. Like, I remember when
sorry, I've taken a dark turn with this. Brian's still alive and well.
Brian is alive and well, and we love him.
He's doing okay.
And I can't confirm or deny about the Funeral for a Friend guy, but I also hope he's okay. Another a little bit dark as well. Lorna Shore replaced their vocalist, and it was the best thing they ever did. It was the best thing they ever did. Okay,
that is a fact.
For a terrible reason. Bit dark, but in the end, we fucking love Will Ramos now. He's an amazing vocalist. So listen.
I mean, they were a kind of like a band that played heavyish. Now they are a huge headliner.
They are the band in deathcore.
Band, yeah, that's so true.
So maybe the best thing that can happen for your band is someone leaving. You never know. But please don't leave, Brian. Please don't leave. I'll cry if you leave. I Prevail. Like, do what is right for you, King, but I will cry if you have to leave.
Do you know what? I would even if Brian just had to do interpretive dance for the lyrics,
I would be there. Like,
I'd still be there.
Slay.
I'd be like, yeah, I'd be doing the moves too. Hey, let's go. We support you, Brian. The next news story is a big one, Yasmin. I haven't told Yasmin this. This is like literally new information to Yasmin. I am going to try and interview Alex Terrible from Slaughter to Prevail at Download Festival. I'm going to try and get We Wear Black on the list of interviews. I don't know if we'll be able to get it. I don't know if they'll just be like, nah, peace, see ya. But I want to try. Yasmin's disgusted. She's like, what? Right. Can I tell you why?
I have no tangible opinion that I feel I should share on the internet about this. I have my own personal opinions, but none that reflect the views of We Wear Black.
Can I tell you why?
I just saved your ass. Go on.
Let me tell you why, right? So, I find it fascinating that Alex Terrible, so he's been, he was long criticised for the fact he has a black sun tattoo. Do you know? And a black sun tattoo, he was accused of being a neo-Nazi. He had that tattoo covered up. Now, he spoke to the No Jumper podcast this month, and it was really interesting because, and these are his words, he said that he was hanging out with the Russian right wing. They hit the gym, they hit the MMA gym, they read books, they're doing all this stuff. And he said these guys were basically, he says he was hanging out with the wrong crowd, and he took all of this information on. Now, if you know something about me, Yasmin, it's that I'm fascinated by people who had an opinion and evolved their opinion. Now, I wonder whether it'd be interesting to speak to him about his right-wing beliefs, how he evolved that, and whether he has space to open up his views and to hear other opinions when it comes to transphobia as well. I just think it'd be interesting. I want to hear that. I want to hear what it takes for somebody, like, what was it that changed his opinion when it came to racism? And what was that turning point? Because I honestly, I know you're still in shock, but I honestly think when we talk about issues like racism, like transphobia, all of these things, whatever changed him or opened his mind is the path to creating change going forward. And at the end of the day, isn't that what we want? I
agree. I'm just going to do some damage control for you. Please don't cancel Sophie because Sophie wants to interview Alex Terrible. Sophie is not platforming Alex Terrible, nor does she align with any of Alex Terrible's views. But I do think, as a journalist, it would be interesting to question him on those views, and not prompt any answers out of him, but let him speak for himself. I think it would be interesting. I won't be there. No,
of course, I would not ask you to be there in 100 years. But
I won't be there. I will be literally anywhere else. Anywhere else.
Literally gouging out your eyeballs.
Anywhere else. Anybody want to hang out, Download, during that time? Someone book a slot with me. I'm pretty busy during Download, though. Download is our busiest festival together.
It is our busiest festival.
It really is.
I'm just curious because I think as we as a podcast are looking at all of this stuff, but we're also currently working on an episode about racism and Rock Against Racism and all of that type of thing. I think it's interesting about if he can change his mind about stuff.
What are you going to do if he actually says, oh no, I have these bigoted views and that's what I believe?
Then we say, okay, I have these bigoted... I don't think you can discuss the... I don't think you can get to the root of something without knowing where people are coming from.
It's one of those things that you want to do just because it's interesting, not because you support it, because you want to find out stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've always said, and this is so... I will say this. I've said it openly, so it's not a secret. If Ian Watkins ever gets out of jail, I want to sit down and do like a 60-minute interview with that man where I'm like, why did you do it? What is going on in your brain? Are you still
it's not
like
to platform him,
and it's not
like to find out why.
Like, I want to know why. I think you're a sick individual, but I want to know why.
And if you don't know why, if you don't understand it, yes, you can just shame people and say you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. But unless I have understanding in my brain of why and how to change, then how can I be the change I wish to see in the world?
I'm definitely excited for it, but I know people on the internet are going to be like, "We Wear Black worked with Alex Terrible," and it's like,
do you know what? This is how you make change.
Use media literacy skills, please. Use some media literacy. I'm begging you. Hi, I'm Yasmine, and I'm starting a trust fund for media literacy skills online. You bitches are dumb. Use context clues. Please. What's the next
Hi, I'm Sophie, and I would just like to say, your tweets, your angry tweets and your cancelling tweets have never changed. Not you, Yasmine, just people who hate. You've never changed anything in the world. And what we're trying to do here is actually create change by getting in the pit, getting dirty.
Tell me the next news story.
The next news story, this is a big one, and I guess it probably has some crossover with your social media stuff, because this was everywhere on social. There was a baby in what people called the pit at a Taylor Swift show with Paramore supporting. And this baby was in a carrier on the floor, from what I believe. So parents obviously gone to the gig, put the baby on the floor in between their legs. And I know we keep coming back to kids being at shows, but... Oh, did you see this, Yasmine?
Here's my strong opinion, right?
Yeah.
I have many. Right. Point number 1. I think children in an enclosed space need proper ear protection. And under a certain age, for like a baby, even with ear protection, you can't prevent damage. The older they get, even with earmuffs, right, there is still a risk of like some sound bleeding through. The older they are, the more they can take that and the more their body can take that. But when they are literal newborns fresh out the womb, they have no defenses whatsoever. Secondly,
this is your opinion, you're not a medical doctor, just point
I'm not a medical doctor.
But this is I think it's a valid opinion.
I'm not a doctor, but
just in case people were confused at home.
secondly, I know Taylor Swift fans are stereotypically very like cutesy girlies, and they're not as gross and dirty as like metalheads at a deathcore show, right? Like, the floor is not going to be covered in beer and gross slime, but a concert is the epicenter. Might get that cold. It's fine if you as an adult get that cold, but if you're putting a baby who's again out the womb into that predicament, it's not safe. Third and final, I have a bone to pick with parents who take any child that is under 3 to Disneyland, to concerts, to expensive events / experiences. Your child isn't going to remember that. Your child isn't going to remember that. It's great that you took your kid to see Paramore, but is your kid going to remember they saw Paramore? I know this because my sister used to take my niece every year to Disneyland. She doesn't remember it. She doesn't remember it. And if you're saying, I'm going for the kid, are you? Because the kid's not going to remember it. Wasted money.
To be honest, I don't think, the person was probably there with the kid for the kid's memories. Because I wonder whether they were going for themselves.
Maybe. That makes sense, though.
But then, I don't know if you saw the photo, there's also some like little shoes in the background. So I'm like, was this a kid's area? Like, what has happened here? Like, what's posted here? Like, hear me out. I do not trust the internet anymore unless people are giving me context. I want to see the wide shot. Don't just post the close-up shot of the feet and the baby. I want to see the wide shot.
If there's, I think toddlers at a Taylor Swift show acceptable because they have grown at least a year to like create some white blood cells, some defenses against like the common cold, ear noise. But like a fresh out the womb baby who still needs to be in a carrier because it can't walk, I feel like they can bow this one out. Hear me out. I feel like they could bow this one out.
The one thing I will come at you for, which is something that got me cancelled with my friends that are parents. Children are like a lot of people with kids take this offensively, so just bear with me. I feel like children are the epicenter of disease.
Children are the epicenter of disease, and
Have you ever hung out with a kid? They are always snotty. They are shitting themselves. They're always sick.
I love my niece. Love her to death. But she has always given me flus. Always.
Yeah, they're always sick. They're like kids. I guess that's how they build their immunity. Like
That's how they are scientifically always sick because they have to get diseases to build their immunity against diseases. So when they're older, they don't get sick.
I would rather lick a pigeon
than lick a child. Yeah. Not that we're licking children. That's
not that we're licking children. No. I think if you're going to catch a cold, it's probably going to be in soft play. That is where I feel.
I get with Taylor Swift why kids are there because like she's got very child friendly music. And like young girls might want to go, and like parents might want to take their kids to be like, look, women can do anything, and I get that. But a fresh boy, here's the thing, right? A newborn baby, that head is soft. You drop a pint on that baby's head, boom, dented. You drop a 2-year-old, and it's like, oh, you know, might have some problems later down in life, but you're fine for now. I fell out of a pram when I was 2, and I turned out fine.
I think what's also quite stressing is I'm like, I'm not going to talk about that one. Sure, you're fine. The thing that got me is that the baby seems to be laying on a feather boa.
No.
What in the... But then I'm also like, well, this was posted by a popular Swiftie account. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know where I sit with this. Like, is this person a really popular account? Were they in like some kind of golden circle situation? Is that why there's all this foot room?
The golden circle is closer to the stage, so that's worse. That's worse. If it's a festival, right? Here's the thing: if it's a festival in open space where sound can travel far into the sky, like can pass through people and has open space, that's fine.
But were you stood next to a speaker?
Closed space in the golden circle with your newborn who has a soft head, soft ears, literally looks like a big ball of dough.
I just want to see the wide shot. That's what I'm saying. I just want to see the wide shot. I don't trust internet people.
I think kids should be at shows after a certain age, like 5 plus. Take them to shows.
Yeah. Also, there was a statement issued. The last news story, there was a statement issued by drummer Eloy Casagrande in his first statement since joining Slipknot, and so that was a big moment that happened at the start of the month, just after our last episode, and
we predicted it. No, I'm kidding.
I'll tell you now, I've met quite a few people now who have seen Slipknot with the new drummer, and everybody is just saying the same thing, and it's that Slipknot are better than they've been in a long time live. They were always amazing live, of course. They're sounding even better because this drummer is so tight.
Good for them.
So good for them. Apparently it's got some like... it now makes sense why... I know the 25-year anniversary, but the boiler suits are back again. It's like they're bringing back that on stage. That's the only way I can put it.
Old Slipknot is back, baby.
Yes, baby. So that's it really for news stories. That's the big ones that I decided to touch on that really stuck in my mind. There's been quite a lot going on this month.
Right.
We'll keep it at those for now.
Let me get my liked songs on Spotify because I have been listening with ears open.
With ears wide open.
Okay, so...
Did you get that reference? No,
I don't. Okay. Do you want to know what I've been listening to?
Yes.
None of it's rock.
No. No, don't come on a rock podcast and start telling me about some of it is
emo. But there's Chapel Roan, lesbian, love her, lesbian icon. The new Billie Eilish album, Ethel Cain, she's having a song that's blown up on TikTok at the moment, Strangers, love her. And then Barely Human, who is like a scene emo artist, makes like MySpace music, amazing. Released a song with Tara Yummy recently that genuinely blows my mind. And that's it. That's my on repeat.
Are you in a phase? Is that what's happening? Have you ended your rock phase?
No, I really like gay pop. I really like... My two sides are gay pop and then raging emo, because I also really love the new Black Veil Bride song and the new 21 Pilots song. And,
there we go.
Static Dress. Yasmine. Static Dress put out a song.
Oh, it's so good.
Crying. That one was really good.
How can you come on here, Yasmine, as yourself, and not talk about
And girls.
No! How can you not talk about Bring Me the Horizon? You have the audacity to come on this podcast as like the OG emo. You're not even going to talk about Bring Me.
I don't have nice things to say, that's why.
Oh, T. Let me get my tea. Tell me.
I was going to say the new Stand Atlantic song is quite nice. It's just not for me. It's just not for me.
Why? Tell me.
It just... So I'll get into this in the social bit. Obviously, Bring Me the Horizon released a new EP, the second part of Next Gen. And I was excited for it. There's definitely some really good songs. I like the transitions and like the interludes between songs. I just feel like there's some songs that shouldn't be there. Like, they're just filler songs. It just didn't hit in the way that I expected to, because post-human survival horror came in with a bang, right? Like, it really oomph, and it just feels like this second EP kind of fell on a flat note. Like, it went so high with the first EP, the bar was set so high that it almost felt like you couldn't really match that. And I don't know,
Jordan, R.I.P. Jordan.
The second EP just, like, there were some cool songs on there for sure, and like overall, like, I don't think it's bad or anything. I do like it, but I just feel like, I don't know, I don't find myself going to listen to the songs.
Interesting.
But it's a good and well produced EP. I think Zach Savini once again worked his magic. Love Zach Savini, but maybe it's just not for me.
Interesting.
It's just there's no oomph to it, you know. There's no Bring Me the Horizon magic.
Well, just to add that Graphic Nature, who's a band that we love here on the podcast, but at Knotfest, they've released Something I'm Not. They're a great band. Also, we have Electric Callboy with Baby Metal
Oh my
who
God,
released Ratatatata, which always makes me think of one of my favourite songs and the most recent songs from Missy Elliott. You had Capstan with Final Words.
Oh my God, yes.
There was New Devil from Attila.
Slaughterhouse 2 with Knock Loose and Motionless in White. Hello. And the new Knock Loose album. Hello.
Yeah, there has been a lot of new music around at the moment, and I'm here for it. And I wonder whether it's a lot to do with people going out on festivals, starting their album cycles that are coming up. Wage War also released Tombstone. You had Nothing More featuring David Draymond with Angel Song. You had Siamese with Predator. Future Palace with The Echoes of Disparity. Crossfaith with Wargasm and Godspeed. And yeah, loads of great tracks.
I am emo. I just think I'm spoilt for choice. I really do. I think I'm there's two wolves inside of me.
No, I know what it is. I know what it is,
gay pop
Yasmin.
icon queen.
No, I know what it is.
The other one is an emo, okay? Because all the gay songs I like are by lesbians, okay? Renee Rapp, Chapel Roan, like, yeah. I like.
No, I know what it is.
And I like the colour black. That's
I've seen this happen to lots of people, and I totally understand. Sometimes when you work in this industry, have you ever fallen in love with a food and then just eaten it every day?
Yeah, that's
and then
called ADHD.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my God, I really like this food, and now I'm so sick. I'm kind of sick of it, but I still like it. When you work in rock, that can happen to a certain degree, and listening to rock songs becomes work, because I have been in situations where I'm listening to new music and I'm like, oh, it's an interesting with the production here, blah blah blah, instead of being able to just enjoy it. And so sometimes you need to remove your ears and cleanse them, a bit like eating sushi, eating ginger. You cleanse them and have fun with other genres, and then you come back. And anyone who wants to hate on that, unless you work in the music industry and you've worked in the music industry for a long time, get fucked.
I know. There you go.
That is that.
Social media. What's been happening on the socials? Shall I tell you?
What's been happening on the soch of the meads?
What's been going on the soch? That is a good question. It's been fucking hell. Okay, I'm in the trenches. I'll start off with a positive one. I'll start off with a fun, light one, so we can ease into the drama. Have you seen that trend on TikTok at the moment where it's like pretending that you're at a Taylor Swift concert? So it's like, oh my gosh, I hope she plays Love Story, and then the next person's like, this is Nickelback, and then it's Nickelback playing. I did that with La Dispute, and I love this trend. There was one where it's like, I hope she plays Love Story. This is the Stardew Valley concert, and it's like a little orchestra that's playing songs from a video game. I love it. I want to see what people do next. There was one at a Kubla Khan show, one at a Slipknot show, one at, oh god, there's been so many. I love this trend. It's so wholesome as well.
Oh, I haven't seen it. So what is it, taking the mickey out of the fact that pop fans are now enjoying alternative music?
No, it's basically, so there was a trend when Taylor Swift was touring where people would be like, if she plays Love Story, I'll shave my head, and then the next clip is the song, so then the person has to do it. But instead it's like, oh my god, I hope she plays Love Story, and it's like, this is a La Dispute show.
Okay, so that's the trend. Okay, cool.
And I like it, and I did it, and I love it. I also saw La Dispute. Oh my god, it cured me. Speaking of, I saw La Dispute at Slam Dunk Festival, which by the time we're recording this has just come and gone.
Festival here in the UK that we attended as part of Knotfest last year.
It's a day festival for pop punk and alternative rock fans. There is some like it's got like hardcore ska and then pop punk, essentially, and emo.
Yeah, it's a bit like, it's for the younger and the when we were young types, right?
Yeah, and I went to South. I was meant to go to North, but I went to South last minute because it was easier for my partner to drive me there. And South went fine. The parking, getting in and out, was really smooth. Last year they had some issues that they came forward and were quite open about the festival, just saying that parking was, that they were going to improve. And as far as I can say, South parking, getting in and out, super easy. Took like 10 minutes in, 10 minutes out just to get there. So I can't complain there. The actual festival, lots of food stands. It was like very well spaced out. There was enough merch stands. It was great. The merch was really cool. They had like a crop top. Love that. However, the next day, because if you don't know, Slam Dunk is a 2-day festival, one in the north of England and then one in the south of England. So for people who live up north or people who live down south, you can go to both, you can go to either or. It's the same stuff, but on a different day. Kind of like when we were Young Festival. Same lineup, but for multiple dates. Anyway, the North date was, unfortunately... The North date was unfortunately cursed with a horrendous amount of torrential rain. There was really bad weather that day, and Slam Dunk had to come forward day of and announce some changes to the original transport. So I'll just read you what they said. So they made 3 posts in total, and I felt so bad for their social media team. So there was the Slam Dunk North site has suffered a lot of rain in the lead up to the event, with possibly more set to come. We advise festival goers to pack for all weather conditions, including sensible footwear. After assessing the car parks this morning, unfortunately the decision has been made to close all car parks for the festival site and refund all advanced parking passes, which was chaos because essentially everybody this year, you couldn't just rock up and park. You had to buy a parking pass ahead of time so they could manage the traffic. However, now everybody who was driving, which a lot of people drive to Slam Dunk, especially up north, because there isn't as efficient transport as there is down south, and I can say that somebody who lives in the Midlands, okay, transport up past London sucks. So anybody who was going to drive had to park in the city centre and get a shuttle bus, but the line for the shuttle bus to get to north was pandemonium. It took ages because everybody who was driving now had to get on this very short shuttle bus. This poor shuttle bus driver is like, please stop yelling at me. I swear I haven't got any more Monster Energy. And then, so people were mad about that. And then people were also mad because then they put out another statement saying, having assessed the ground conditions for Slam Dunk North, we are sorry to inform you that due to bad weather, the ground is in bad condition. Although access facilities, including platforms and ambulance areas, are still available and customers can still attend, we advise that those with mobility issues avoid the site and refunds are available.
I saw posts about this.
This was the big thing, and I don't have any physical disabilities that limit my capability to do anything. I don't have any mobility issues. I don't have any physical disabilities that would warrant me to speak on this with any experience or any knowledge whatsoever. But I will say, I think this was out of Slam Dunk's control.
Yeah.
Hot take of the century, I think that this was out of Slam Dunk's control. I would have rather they said, hey, just so you know, we can't accommodate for this, and we don't want you to come and get stuck or get hurt. We want to make sure you have a good time, so we'd rather just give you your money back, and then for next year, we will plan for these kind of accommodations so you don't have to experience that again. I feel like that's fair, but a lot of people were really mad on Twitter, and it was kind of crazy. I get the car parking thing, that's really annoying, but I also feel like they can't control the weather. They can't control the weather.
I've literally been to a festival once where I was walking and my rain boots got stuck in the mud and I fell in the mud because I walked out of my boots. What can you do in that situation? If anyone has been to a festival anywhere else in the world, I know in America and a lot of places they have them in car parks.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we have spaces that are big enough here in the UK that are all...
They used to do it in Leeds City Centre and in I don't
But
know
it
where
was
they did
smaller
it in South.
then.
It was a lot smaller. Same with Birmingham, and they split it up between 3 days. So instead of doing 2 days in big fields, they did 3 days in smaller locations that were in the city centre, and that was probably a lot more accessible, but it was also just so tiny that like you couldn't really enjoy it. Like there was too many people there at all times,
and then there was no access to certain rooms because you couldn't have platforms because the rooms were also small. And then sometimes you would get stuck trying, like there would be a funnel of people trying to get from, if there was a big hot band and maybe that band had blown up in the time they were booked, you couldn't get into the room to go see those bands. It was good, but they definitely outgrew it.
Oh god, yeah. There's two strains of conversation, right? One, I think all festivals and all concerts and all venues should have better disability access and accommodations, and I think this can definitely be a learning curve for Slam Dunk for next year and for other festivals to learn how to better accommodate disabled people regardless of weather conditions, because we live in the UK. It's going to rain. You've got to expect rain. How do you accommodate for people with disabilities? However, I don't think they were being ableist by saying maybe you shouldn't come, because they still said you can come, disabled access will be available, but just know that it might be really muddy, and if you have a wheelchair, if you have like crutches, you know, they could get stuck. Your like the things you need to be mobile might get damaged, and therefore like we don't want to run that risk, and we don't want to make your life worse.
I get it, there's like walkways, there's everything, but like
what can you do?
Some people were saying to put down walkways, but the problem is the walkways often have holes in them, but the ones that don't have holes in them get slippy, and if you're putting your weight on crutches, it is really difficult. I wonder whether like all the festivals have to come together and just have a meeting with people who are experts in this stuff with how to cater.
Yeah,
because it's tough. It must be so tough.
It's tough, and also we don't have the right answers. Like if you're listening to this and you're like, you're actually so wrong, please feel free to email me, because I'm quite interested in this.
From our privileged perspective,
oh god, yeah,
this is how it looks from where we're at, and so we love being challenged. We love being challenged on that stuff.
God, yeah. If you're listening to this and you have a mobility issue and you could or couldn't go to Slam Dunk, let me know, because I'm always interested. I will always advocate for more accessibility in venues and at festivals, especially festivals. But I think as well, you're right. If they'd have put down those flat things that you see at festivals while it was muddy, it would have just slipped. Like if they'd have put them down beforehand,
because once people walk on them, they just become an ice rink.
Yeah,
I don't know, but maybe it's just me, but from my point of view, I like the fact, and this might get me totally cancelled, I like the fact that they looked at it and went, this isn't safe and we want to keep you safe.
Yeah.
And they addressed it rather than just going, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Do you know
there
what I
are
mean?
festivals who've been like, yeah, just come anyway. Like, I'm glad that they were like, listen, being totally honest, it's probably not safe.
Historically, I guess for a lot of people with mobility issues, that's what's happened, right? People just go, we'll have a platform, and they don't really think about the process. But it shows that at least they've got someone who's thinking about the process of how they get there. There is growth, don't get us wrong.
Always more that can be done. So hopefully next year is they make improvements on that. Another thing I wanted to talk about on social media, so with the Bring Me Horizon album, I'm not slandering Bring Me. I do love them as a band, and I just don't think this album is for me, but that's okay. I don't have to like everything that my favourite artist puts out. However, did you see that people were like, oh, they've clearly used AI to write these songs?
Is that what people were saying?
Yeah, I don't think it's warranted, and I don't think it's true, because I don't think someone like Zach Savini would produce that, but I think it's just the way the lyrics are. They're like, this is so weird, and I'm like, okay, but Bring Me the Horizon have always had weird lyrics. Like, Bring Me the Horizon literally have a song that's about fucking. Let's fuck.
What's the weirdness?
Let me grab you one of this. Let me find the tweet first, because there was a tweet where someone was like, not Bring Me the Horizon using AI, and I'm like, it's very clearly not AI, but okay, go off, I guess. Oh,
that is screaming to me somebody who doesn't write songs and doesn't like the way people say things with their whole chest on TikTok, on Twitter, as if it's truth, and they don't actually know the story.
I know.
It blows my mind.
So someone tweeted, mark my words, it will come out that AI wrote this entire new Bring Me the Horizon album. It is lyrically accessible, musically the most generic thing I've experienced. I haven't had so much hatred for an album until tonight. And then someone else has tweeted that as well, but it's the song A Bullet With My Name On, Bring Me the Horizon, and Under Oath, right? And I really like this song because it's Under Oath, right? And I fucking love Under Oath. I guess this is goodbye. I guess we got what we deserved. Hold on to your heart, it's almost over. I guess I should have known. I guess a part of me still hoped. Broken from the start. You've got a bullet with my name on. I'm dreaming backwards. Nobody answers. I won't look down again. Did my back hurt your knife? Let me kiss it better. This time I promise I'll die. Do the waltz with your alibi. And if Jesus Christ returns, we'll just kill that fucker twice. I think these are Bring Me the Horizon lyrics because these are the same people that said true friends stab you in the front and we will never sleep because sleep is for the weak. Their lyrics have always been like that.
It's not giving
AI.
To be honest, the whole thing with AI as well is you wouldn't be able to tell if AI had done it. So I don't understand.
Also,
that's just someone trying to get clout, no?
I need to say this. I think they'd go to songwriters before they went to AI.
Yeah, of course. Like,
they know so many songwriters.
He's a millionaire. He can bring, like, you name Taylor Swift songwriters, he can get them on board. He's with a major label. Like, what are you on about, internet?
I love when Twitter tweets stuff that I'm like, this is obviously not true, but people who don't work in the music industry think it's true. I'm like, that's just not true.
Yeah,
that's just not true. It would be, because AI would do a terrible job because it's still so new, it doesn't understand emo songs. Let's do an experiment. I'm going to use ChatGPT and ask them to write a Bring Me the Horizon song, and let's see what happens. Okay. Are you ready?
Do you just have ChatGPT on your saved tabs?
No, I can just type it in. I'm fast at typing. Okay. I'm sorry.
Well, just the fact it came to your head, I just thought, like, maybe you had it saved. I thought maybe that's a Gen Z thing. Like,
write me.
What do I post on TikTok?
Bring Me the Horizon song with lyrics that are that would match their latest EP, next gen. Okay. Oh, ChatGPT is thinking.
Oh.
This is insane. Right, are you ready?
Okay.
We're drowning in the static, lost in the machine. Echoes of our heartbeat, like a shattered dream. Synthetic voices whisper through the neon light. In this digital wasteland, we wage a futile fight.
We wage a futile fight! Yeah, I can
Pixels and wires. We're trapped in this cage. A new dystopian age, fueled by cyber rage. Okay, maybe... Hold on. Maybe... I fear that this... No, it still sounds like very... I feel like a songwriter would look at that and be like, that's too rhymey.
Yeah.
But they'd have to get a songwriter in anyway to clean it up. So why spend the extra money? Just get a songwriter to do it from the beginning.
It's weird. I don't understand.
That was so wild. Should I ask it? Wait, what other band should I ask it to do, Sophie? Should I ask it to do a Skindred song? This has gone so terribly.
Okay, ask ChatGPT to write a Skindred song.
Write a Skindred song. This might be horribly racist.
Yeah, you can't count on AI to not be.
Oh my god. Intro. Yeah. Riot, sound, turn it loud, Skindred crew, we shake the ground, from the streets of Babylon to the city lights, we bring the heat, we ignite the night, rebel souls, we stand tall, never fall, unity and love, we answer the call, bassline pound it, feel it in your chest, turn up the volume, no time to rest, I'm sorry to Skindred and Bring Me the Horizon that we just contributed
Wait,
to
can you
AI.
just do one more? Can you get it to write a Slipknot song?
Yes! Oh my god, write a Slipknot song. Also, yes, I know AI is bad and we are technically contributing to the evil system, but...
Lols. Content.
It's for science. Oh my god. Okay. Darkness whispers in my ear, a symphony of fear, a fractured mind, a twisted soul. The void is crystal clear. Silence screams in my head, the tearing me apart. Rah! A maelstrom of the damned, the blackened beat of my heart. This isn't.
That is not giving Slipknot.
However,
I'm
the chorus,
sorry.
Break me, hate me. I'm the demon in your eyes. Feed me, bleed me until the last of me dies. I'm the nightmare, I'm the scar, the poison that you are. This is giving
it's giving metalcore to circa 2013. It's not giving Slipknot.
Now, if it had started with fuck my wound and kill me until I die, I would have been like, yeah, actually, ChatGPT got it.
Yeah, actually, the interpretation of what you think when you're mainstream and you try and do an impression of the most gory thing, that is probably closer. No, it kind of
Don't worry, musicians. You don't have to worry about your job. You're safe for now.
You are safe.
Safe for now.
Okay, well, anything else coming up on the socials that you can think of?
Nothing that's not already been talked about in news, so I guess we should talk about our socials.
I have one. No, I have one. Last story.
Okay.
This is an interesting one. Okay, so a band had to take to social media because of the intense backlash that they were receiving.
Okay.
Have you heard of the band The Funeral Portrait?
Oh my god, yeah.
So, Marilyn Manson has been announced that he is returning to playing live music. He's doing a number of dates, but some of the bands that are supporting him, like the emo rockers, The Funeral Portrait, who signed on to open a trio of Marilyn Manson headline dates, have been facing massive backlash.
Oh my god.
Now, what's happening here is, and it's really interesting because the band posted a statement saying, if you truly know the people we are and you know the grind we've been on, you wouldn't be made. If what we're doing isn't affecting your life personally, then why get mad about it? You weren't a fan before, and that's fine. No one is forcing you to go to any of these shows. And this was posted on X, but was later deleted, but still has been shared by fans. And people are saying things like, this is according to Loudwire, fans are saying things like, yeah, The Funeral Portrait is cooked.
It's because they're touring with Marilyn Manson and he has a slew of allegations against him from, I feel scared to say anything about Marilyn Manson in case we get sued, but I'm sure you can Google it. Here's the thing. I'm torn because they are a very openly queer, accepting a band who they all kiss each other on stage. Like they're very like fluid and open, right? And I here's the thing.
Oh, I wasn't expecting this from you, but okay.
If you're telling me, right, if a racist came to us and was like, "Can you open for us?" I would take the bag. I would take the bag. Because you know what?
Yeah, I want to be representing in that space.
As much as they're awful and I hate them, but here's the thing. I would explicitly be like, I'm just doing this tour because I want to make a bag and I want to put brown people in the faces of racist white people. I want to do that. I would go to a gig where it's full of Nazis who hate me and I'd still play.
I don't know if I'd go that far. If someone said, Yasmine, can we open? Somebody wants us to open for Kid Rock. Would you say yes?
Yeah, I'd take, if they pay me, if they pay us 10 grand, yeah, I don't care if that makes me a sellout, because either we do it or some other, generic white dude does it, and it's like, we get to be in that space, shove it in everyone's face, even though Kid Rock is there being like, we get to shove it in everyone's face and make a bag, and I don't support those kind of views. Obviously it goes against me as a person, so why not make a bag off of these idiots? Hello.
So then what happens when bands like Spirit Box support or have to pull out of gigs with, say, Ronnie Radke or whatever it might be, so you would say that you wouldn't cancel a band?
I think if they were open and were like, we don't support this guy's views, but he's paying us a lot of money to be here, so we're going to get that bag and we're going to preach about how we don't support any of his views every night on stage, because then they'll either get kicked off the tour by the person that's running it, but still have to be paid, and then they made a bag, and then they can...
No, you don't get paid if you're kicked off.
Then what do we do? I don't know then, because I think as well there's nuances to it. So I think with The Funeral Portrait, just the accusations against Marilyn Manson are, as far as I'm aware, nothing that they are affected by or openly speak about in their music. So it's not like it's one against the other and they're getting reparations for something that has caused direct damage to them, as far as we know. And I think the same can be said about Spirit Box. But we as brown and black people, if a racist white guy asked us to open for him,
alleged racist, yeah,
an alleged racist was like, I'll pay you 10 grand. I'd be like, absolutely, give me that fucking money. I'm gonna sit on stage and talk my shit for an hour, leave before you even come on, and take my bag and run. Is that bad? I don't know. I think it's very situational.
I think as well, what's being forgotten here is, with a bigger band, they're bringing audiences in, but for a band of that size, people aren't gonna pay Marilyn Manson prices to see the funeral portrait, right? They've got 30,000 followers or whatever on Instagram, so it's more likely that people are going to find out about the funeral portrait rather than people pay Marilyn Manson because they're seeing the funeral portrait. Does that make sense?
But I'm torn, because I don't think people who would like Marilyn Manson would like the funeral portrait if they're actively against everything that Marilyn Manson has allegedly done or not done. So it's like, in that situation, it's really hard, and it's very situational, because I know that personally, if a racist or a transphobe asked me to open for them, I'd be like, yeah, pay me double. I can say whatever the fuck I want on stage, and I'll do it for you. That was not the take I was expecting from you at all, Yasmine.
Really? And I find that really interesting. Yeah,
I don't support it. I think if I was in their position, I wouldn't have taken that opportunity, but I think there's nuances to it, because I would take a bag from a racist and be like, yeah, give me your money. I'm going to stand in front of your racist fans and be like, I'm brown. And I'm on stage. Well,
if you get a big show, the way it works is like, if you support this big show, you get then considered for other big shows if you do a good job by your booking agent. Exactly. And so it's like, if this is your first big one, I don't know what their history is, but if this is their first big, I don't know whether they're arena shows or whatever, their first big one they've been offered.
But there's a risk factor to it. There's a risk factor to it, because I think it was more damaging than it was successful for them. But I think if we were to open for like a horrible human being and just stand on stage and be idiots for an hour and be like, we hate racists.
Everything we do is damaging. Just existing is damaging. Us talking about rock is, people hate on it. So we're at the point where we're like, lots of people hate us. The people who are listening right now don't. We do it for you who are listening right now, because
it would be, I think if we were offered to open for someone who was bigoted in ways that don't affect us, I would say no. But
interesting. Okay.
Then it's like, I'm actively working against communities that I'm trying to uplift, and it's not something that directly affects me, so I can't take reparation money from that. But if a racist is being like, yeah, come open for me, give me that $1, okay? I want a nice green room. I want a tour bus.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, I wouldn't want to bring, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like, if it was like a transphobic artist, there would have to be a journalistic reason I couldn't just do it. And go, yay, everything's cool, we just come by our backstage. No, there's no way.
No, I wouldn't even hang out with them backstage. I would do the show and then leave. Come on the tour bus and be like, cool, I've made that bag.
Okay, all right then. Well, what is that, your words of wisdom? Take the money and run, in the words of Steve Miller Band?
Depends on the situation.
Depending on the situation.
I don't think enough people of colour are utilising the fact that there are problematic people in the industry. Take their money, okay? Take their bag. Laugh in their face while you do it. Look them in the eye and be like, yeah, I actually want to be paid double. Okay,
my words of wisdom would just going to be, if you go to a festival, take a raincoat. So that is it for this week's news episode.
Yay! If you want to follow us, it's at We Wear Black Pod on everything. I'm at Yasmine Suman on everything. Or you can email us, wewearblackpod@gmail.com.
Please do email us. We've got some heavy topics this week and we'd love to hear your opinions. If you want to get in touch with me, it's at I am Sophie K.
Bye.
Bye.